Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Moments with Mo. It's me in a car by myself driving. I have had a really tough day today. Honestly, August, September kicked my butt. But I do want to get on here and I do want to make a video so that when I post it next week, I can have something up. I did post my video with my cousin Tori, Glam Tori. It took forever to post it, okay? It took 3 days and something messed up. I was uploading it on my other phone twice, 3 times, and I finally uploaded it on my main phone, this phone, and it went through. So I don't know. It was ready and edited to the best of my ability by Tuesday night, and I don't think it even really posted until like Saturday. Sorry, my eyebrow looked a little crazy. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and talk about perfection. Like, perfection. Sorry, I'm back driving, and yeah, I don't have my gadgets with me to hold my phone and to keep me together. But y'all don't get it. And so this more so is dedicated to the people who had to feel like, or went through being perfect, feeling like they had to be perfect, being people pleasers. This video is dedicated to us, okay? I'm gonna say sorry, lip gloss off. When I say had a rough day, I had a rough day. Sorry, y'all. But anyway, people pleasing, feeling like you had to be perfect, and all of that good stuff. So I am a recovering people pleaser, okay? I am. I used to feel so guilty for saying no. I used to feel so guilty for wanting to have time for myself. I used to feel like I had to show up for everybody. And to be honest, it's because I wanted people to do the same for me. You know, that's 100% what it is. It may be different for y'all, but that's what it is for me. I felt like I couldn't be combative with people, and not saying that necessarily like a combative person, but just like disagree. You know, I felt like that because I didn't want to lose the people who I had fostered a relationship with. If I let you in, I let you in. And if you hurt my feelings or you betray me in some type of way, I'm done. You know, like, I am cut to the core. I'm turned into a total different person, because why would you do me like that? Because I would never do you like that. I would never hurt your feelings. I would never do nothing like that. And sometimes what I've learned is people are not intentionally hurting your feelings. They are not doing it in a way to just be like, oh yeah, I just want to hurt your feelings, and I want you. Hold on, this car behind me is close as F. Oh my gosh. Sorry, y'all. But anyway, I was never the person who wanted that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if it happened to me, then, you know, I'm done with you. I'm cutting you off. Gave you 2 strikes. You strike 2. Oh, you out of here. I'm done. And I just totally checked out of the relationship, the situation, whatever. I have been dealing with that for a long time, and the moment of me growing from it and learning, like, you are the one who's always hurt. You are the one who ends up with the short end of the stick. You're the one who gets mistreated. You're the one whose feelings is hurt because you don't set boundaries. Because you have to show up. Because you have to be there for these people. You have to, and don't get me wrong, it's not just friends, it's not just family, it's anybody who I feel like I had a relationship with. So sorry y'all, hold on, my brain just kind of went like totally left. But anyway, with all that being said, perfection is impossible. Perfection is, what's the word I want to use? Perfection is not reality. It is not reality. And I'm gonna tell you now, anybody who knows me, who's ever worked with me, I would even say just worked with me, like did a job with me, they know I am almost a perfectionist. I'm anticipating any issue that could happen. I have a solution for that issue. If A and B was equal C, then what is B and C gonna equal A? You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally had everything down pat. Because I always felt like I had to show that. I had to be perfect to show my worth as an individual. I had to be this person that I wasn't, because I'm not perfect and I make mistakes just like everybody else makes mistakes. I am flawed, probably a little bit more than others are flawed, but yeah, like that's what it was. And I have sat and I've thought about this. My therapist has been out because she had a medical procedure, so I haven't been with my therapist in like a month and a half, and I have been therapisting myself. Y'all don't do that if y'all not ready for that, okay? Because sometimes you can take yourself to a place that you ain't supposed to be. But anyway, me sitting with myself, I literally had to say, what is the real reason that you felt like you had to be perfect? And as anybody who is growing and cultivating themselves and healing, you have to face some of these hard truths, okay? You have to come face to face with them. And I realized that I had to be perfect because I wanted my parents' attention. I felt like if I was a perfect child, and I mean, it went from a childhood thing to now it's to every aspect of my life. But me being this perfect child, my dad, I have time for me. I spend more time with my dad. I have a relationship with my dad. And my mom wouldn't work so much. My mom would be at home with us and we could do more stuff together. And if I was a perfect child, because my brothers had a lot of stuff going on in their lives at that time, then my parents would see like, oh, you know what, Monique's good. Monique doesn't give me any trouble. Monique is perfect. So I would get, you know, the feeling and the nurturing or the attention that I felt like I was lacking in my family, and within my unit. You know, that's just the life that I lived. You know, my mom was a single parent, and well, you don't know, but my mom was a single parent, 3 kids, and she worked. She busted her tail to provide for me and my brothers, and that's all that I saw. But I never realized that it took root in me in a way that it was not like always positive, you know, because I'm a worker now. But yeah, so it's a hard pill to swallow. It is something that I never was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It never hit me in a way that made me feel like I was actually going to be like having issues down the line in life. Never thought about it. So that's my perfectionist thing in me. It sucks. It's not real. It's very fake. It's unrealistic is the word I should have used. But it is a real feeling. It's a real thing. It is something that I felt I needed to be to get the attention that I felt I needed from my people. So yeah. Okay, so that's perfectionism. Sorry, y'all, because I'm still driving, of course. Now, being a yes woman, or feeling like, oh, people pleasing. That's what it is. People pleasing. People pleasing is crazy. Because in a sense, I was people pleasing because of the same thing. Because I felt like I didn't get the attention that I needed. So if I just say yes, yeah, sure, I can do it, sure, yeah, tired, irritated, mean, not to the people, but to myself, to actual people who were, you know, being there for me, I would lash out at them. And it wasn't their fault. It was mine. And it was my fault because I wanted to be Captain Save 'em. As my mama said, Captain Save a hoe. None of people's hoes, okay? That I know of. That ain't my business. But I'm not Superman. I'm not Superwoman. I am a person who's trying to make it, and a person who wants to be there for others as well. So I took that a little too far. I'll be here, I'll be there, I'll do this, I'll do that, and not really wanting to, not really feeling like it. And then if I wanted to say no, I would feel guilty, and because I felt guilty, I would do it, and that's not okay. So to my people who are healing from this, because I'm going to say we're healing from it, because we won't be here again. It's not okay, because after a while, people do take advantage of you. They take advantage of the fact that you say yes. They take advantage of the fact that you will be there. They take advantage of the fact that you will show up, when some days you just need to be by yourself. Some days you just need to wrap yourself up in your house and covers and lay in a bed and just exist. You know what I'm saying? Some days you just need that. And I feel like once you realize that, I know, let me tell you something. As you're going through this season and these moments, if you are one of these people, you're going to feel guilty, because maybe you do have the free time to do it. Maybe you do have the money to give. Maybe you do have the space. Maybe you do. As my dad said something to me not too long ago, when I was really going through, like, with my anxiety so bad. He said, forget them people. His words was way worse than mine. Take care of yourself. It doesn't matter if you want to sit at home and not do anything. Do it. If you're not taking care of yourself, who are you taking care of? How you take care of somebody else if you're not taking care of yourself? If you're not at the most healthy space for yourself, how are you feeling like you can be there for somebody else? You can't. You're avoiding dealing with yourself and healing from whatever that you are going through at that time, or even going through it. You're avoiding it. So let's not do that anymore. Let's not. And so, as I always tell you guys, it's always going to come back to a scripture when it's just me by myself, or with other people. It doesn't really matter. But it's going to come back to a moment with God. And I felt like I had to be a perfect Christian to have a relationship with God. once again, I told you guys, it started off as me as a child wanting attention from my parents, to me growing into a teenager, and it's the same thing, same attention, same moments. Then going from a teenager to an adult, young adult who's working, I have to be perfect at my job because it's going to show my worth as a person. It's going to show my worth to this company. They're going to want me. They're going to make sure that I'm there because they're going to see how perfect of a worker I am. Okay, job. School, have to be the perfect student. Why not put my best foot forward and be perfect? Because instead of trying my best and knowing that I did my best, I have to be perfect. To now that I am cultivating my relationship with God and really focusing on my relationship with him and growing, I struggle for the past few months. Even with making these videos, I've struggled with trusting God and allowing him to be God in my life. But I mostly struggle with that because I felt like I had to be perfect. I felt like growing up, me and my cousins talked about this like maybe a few weeks ago, but growing up, my grandma instilled God in me. With me going to church, not going to church, all of that stuff. I've had a relationship with God since I was a child. But with me having that relationship, it was also a fear that if I am not perfect, I'm going to hell. If I am not walking this road so perfectly, like wake up in the morning and pray, and then 2 hours later pray again. Like I just felt like I had to be so strict, not being around people that weren't Christian, not going to church, not worshiping God, not paying my tithes, it was so much that made me feel like I am failing as a child of God, and I am condemned to hell because I am not perfect. And God doesn't want perfect. And I have to keep telling myself that. He doesn't want perfect. He wants me as me, the way that I am. He created me. He knows who I am. He knows that I'm a little quirky. He knows that I am sarcastic. He knows that I like jokes. He knows that some days I don't want to be bothered with people. He knows that some days I'm not going to voice I want to be around people, but I want to be around people and I want to feel the love from others. He knows that I am not the perfect child. He knows that I'm going to cuss a few people out and then I'm going to give them a hug. He knows that I am working on me in this moment in my life. He knows that I have sex. He knows that I drink. He knows all of this stuff. And I'm not saying that you can or you can't do it, because that's your walk with God and this is my walk with God. I can't tell you what you can do or what you can't do and what's going to send you to or get you condemned to hell. That's not me. I'm not God. I am just a girl who is learning and walking this faith walk and this relationship with God. That's all I can only be transparent with you. But what I will say is he knows all of this about me. He knows it. He knows that I'm not perfect. He knows that some days it's like a day like today. He knows that these moments in my life are going to be like this past month in my life has been for me. And he is going to love me in spite of. So I am putting this out to everybody. The wording that I want to say is not coming to me right now, but what I basically want to say is this. You don't have to be perfect in life, in relationships, and being a parent, and being a friend, and being a cousin, and being a sibling, and being whatever. You are not going to be perfect. It is literally impossible to do. But what you can do is do your best. my cousin is coming, and I'm gonna end this video here. No, don't you say I heard it. I know how to read lips.